Hi everyone, I am happy to see you guys again. It's been a while, I know, I apologize. I have been very sick with a flare-up with my stomach for the past several days. Today's the first day I have actually felt better and haven't been throwing up and had severe stomach cramps, so as for now, as with my crazy stomach disease, you never know from 1 hour to the next when you're going to be sick, but so far today so good. So I wanted to be sure and get a video done. So we're going to do the Bible study, and today we are going to be in the book of Isaiah chapter 7. And the devotion tonight is by Diane Neal Matthews. Haven't heard, don't really remember that name. She may have wrote one or two, but don't remember that name. But the verse that goes along with the devotion tonight is Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, which says, "So the Lord himself will give you this sign. A virgin will become pregnant and give birth to a son, and she will name him Emmanuel. God is with us." That's what Emmanuel means. God is with us. Okay, so let's put that aside for right now. And I do have a circle of kindness for tonight's Bible study. I got my aunt brought me out 3 magazines, so I have three for 3 Bible studies. So I got 1 for tonight and then 2 more. So let's go ahead now, and I will read the book of Isaiah, and we'll be talking about the sign of Emmanuel, the sign that Jesus is going to be born. When Ahaz, son of Jotham, the son of Uzzah, was king of Judah, King Rezin of Aram, and Pezah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, marched up to fight against Jerusalem, but they could not overpower it. Now the house of David was told, "Aram has allied itself with Ephraim," so the hearts of Ahaz and his people were shaken, as the trees of the forest are shaken by the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, "Go out, you and your son Shear-Jashub, to meet Ahaz at the end of the aqueduct of the upper pool, on the road to the washerman's field. Say to him, 'Be careful, keep calm, and don't be afraid. Do not lose heart because of these 2 smoldering stubs of firewood, because of the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram and the son of Remaliah. Aram, Ephraim, and Remaliah's son have plotted your ruin, saying, Let us invade Judah. Let us tear it apart and divide it among ourselves, and make the sons of Tambal king over it. Let this be what the sovereign Lord says. It will not take place. It will not happen. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is only Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim will be too shattered to be a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is only Remaliah's son. If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all." Again the Lord spoke to Ahaz, "Ask the Lord your God for a sign, whether in the deepest depths or in the highest heights." But Ahaz said, "I will not ask. I will put the Lord to the test." Then Isaiah said, "Hear now, you house of David. Is it not enough to try the patience of men? Will you try the patience of my God also? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will be with child, and will give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. He will eat curds and honey, and he knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right. But before the boy knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right, the land of two kings you dread will be laid waste. The Lord will bring on you and your people and on the house of your father a time unlike any since Ephraim broke away from Judah. He will bring the king of Assyria. In that day the Lord will whistle for flies from the distant streams of Egypt, and for bees from the land of Assyria. They will all come and settle in the steep ravines and in the crevices in the rocks, on all the thorn bushes and at all the water holes. In that day the Lord will use a razor hired from beyond the river, the king of Assyria, to shave your head and the hair of your legs, and to take off your beards also. In that day a man will keep alive a young cow and 2 goats, and because of the abundance of the milk they give, they will have curds to eat. All who remain in the land will eat curds and honey. In that day, in every place where there were 1,000 vines worth 1,000 silver shekels, there will be only briars and thorns. Men will go there with bow and arrow, for the land will be covered with briars and thorns. As for all the hills once cultivated by the hoe, you will no longer go there for fear of the briars and thorns. They will become places where cattle are turned loose and where sheep run. You don't want to test the Lord our God, because you'll never win. And that's exactly what Ahaz was doing when he said, I will not ask the Lord for help. He will test the Lord. I will not ask the Lord for help, but I will test him. Okay, now you see what the Lord's answer to that was. Ahaz was not very smart. It's like a little child trying to say, when a parent tells their child to do something and the little child says, I'm not going to do what my mom says. I'm going to test her and do what I want. I'm going to do exactly what she told me not to do. And what's going to happen? That child's going to get in trouble. Just like this child got in trouble from God, our Father, his Father. Okay. All right, here. So let's get to the devotion by Diane Neal Matthews. My friend had offered to help me out with a big PTA project the next week, but I watched her walk away. I wondered if she would really keep her promise. She hadn't always kept her word in the past. Would she let me down again? We've probably all been disappointed by someone not keeping a promise. Maybe we were counting on them to help out on moving day, or pick us up at an airport, or babysit for an important event. Many people have suffered the excruciating pain of having a spouse break the promise made in their wedding vows. The Bible has recorded a number of promises that Jesus made to us. He will extend forgivenesses to anyone who repents of sin. He will give us rest if we come to him and let him lead us. Yes, but Jesus never breaks promises. He will have troubles in this life, but he will empower us to live as overcomers. He will never leave us, and no one can snatch us from his hand. He is preparing an eternal home for us, where he will take us one day to live with him forever. I may have good reason to doubt the word of a few people, but never Jesus's. I know this because of who he is. Jesus wasn't only the fulfillment of hundreds of Old Testament prophecies about the Messiah. He was a promise kept. The words of Isaiah that we just heard, that we just read, when God told Isaiah to tell, God is going to send the angel to Mary, a virgin is going to become pregnant and give birth to a son and name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. That's talking about Mary becoming pregnant with Jesus. Jesus was a promise kept. That was back in the Old Testament in Isaiah. Jesus came. You talk about Jesus in the New Testament. The words of Isaiah even repeated in Matthew chapter 1, verse 21, after Mary conceived. So this question is never, can I believe him, but will I believe him? Because it's not a matter of if you can trust Jesus, because you can trust him. The matter is, will you trust him? Because Jesus can be trusted, because Jesus don't break promises. But will you trust him? That's up to you. People can break promises. People break promises all the time, but Jesus always keeps his promises. And like we say all the time, Jesus is always here for you, 24/7. He doesn't sleep, he never goes nowhere, and he never, ever changes. The homework for tonight, if you want to do it, which promise of Jesus means the most to you right now? Write out a brief prayer telling him why. Thank him for always keeping his word. If you want to do that. If you have spare time and you want to, that's nice. Or just talk to God instead of writing it down. Talk to Jesus about it and tell him what promise of his means the most to you and how much you appreciate him for it. You know, it's those special times that you talk to God and Jesus that really makes you closer to them. It really is. And it makes you feel so much better. It really does. I live for those moments. I love those moments. Our time alone together. Those are some of the best moments of my life. Let's go ahead and do our verses now. I got them wrote down, of course, but I don't look at them when I do them. But we have 5, remember. We have Hebrews 13:8, Philippians 4:13, Proverbs 17:17, Hebrews 13:14, and John 3:16. So now I'm folding it up and putting it down. And our next Bible study will be in Deuteronomy chapter 11. Okay, so now let's do our verses. Ow. My bracelet just pulled a piece of my hair out. Like I got much left to lose. My hair's falling out like crazy again. I need to get back to the cancer center when all this is over so I can get my blood checked. I've been canceling for months. Probably need more iron, possibly blood too. I don't know. Because I've been bleeding a lot here and there. And my body don't absorb iron anymore because of my stomach disease. And my hair's just been falling out like crazy. It's getting really very thin. As you can see, it's falling out crazy. I tried to make it look thicker by folding it over and putting a bow there so you can't see it, but it's just, I don't know. But anyway, all the verses. Yeah, my memory. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that so whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Or you could also, there's different wording, King James. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. They're slightly worded differently. Okay, now Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13, John 3:16, Proverbs 17:17. Hebrews 13:14. For this world is not our permanent home. We are looking forward to a home yet to come. Hope I said that right. That's one of our recent ones. Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And is that it? John 3:16. That's it. Yay! Let's see if I got that one right. No. For this world is not our permanent home. We are looking forward to a home yet to come. Is that what I said? I hope that's what I said. I've been practicing it. Trying to get these memorized so I can have 5 verses, you know. And then slowly, you know, try to add on more like we only had 3. And now we just added on 2 more, so now you know 5 verses. You know the verse in the Bible that it is, and you know the whole verse. Ain't that something? So if somebody says Philippians 4:13, you can automatically repeat the verse because you know. Or if somebody says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength, you can say, that's in Philippians 4:13. Or if somebody says there's a spot in the Bible where it says something about this world not being our permanent home. We're looking for a home yet to come or something like that. Oh yes, that's in Hebrews. That's Hebrews 13:14. That says, for this world is not our permanent home. We are looking forward to a home yet to come. You know, it's an icebreaker. John 3:16 is by far on this list the most popular one that people know and people get tattoos of and stuff, you know. John 3:16 is the most popular on the list. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's Bible study. Again, I'm sorry I haven't been on here. I've been very sick. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I hope you guys have a great night's sleep. Good night, guys.